Did you know that eating at Fatburger is the #1 way to fight the leading cause of death amongst American youth today? Not eating enough Fatburger? Our fries are rated best in blind taste tests. You'll always go back for more. But look out, they're hot. Fatburger, the last great hamburger stand. Hello, I'm here with Michael Damiani.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm just hanging out here in my hometown. Which town did you start out in?
I actually started here too. My first character, this town of Gridania.
Nice.
In the world of Eorzea, which is the world of Final Fantasy XIV. For those of you who haven't picked up on this, this is pretty amusing. This is supposed to be RP, and we're just like, that's latency right there. I was like,
yeah, I was like, where are we going? So yeah, you just moved back to LA, right?
Yeah, I moved. It's gonna be 3 weeks. Actually, I think it's 3 weeks today as of recording. So, yeah, it has gone by pretty quickly. Pretty happy with being back. It feels like some sense of normalcy is returning after being away for a year and a half. I was worried it might be weird or something, or the weirdness would last too long, but it's slowly starting to feel like I had not actually left.
That's good. It's good to have you back. I know that we're all pretty happy about it.
It's kind of amazing to see this zone. If you, after having seen it in the original version of this game, this area here and this part south look a little bit similar. They made a few changes, but the surrounding forest areas here used to just be linear mazes, just like corridors, like corridor fest, and copy pasted kind of templates, like little sections were just repeated over and over.
Oh no!
And now it's these giant environments, so it's nice to see how it evolved. Because before this, I used to be terrified of this area because it was going to be the never-ending copy-paste area of hell.
So we're RP walking here. What do you think our characters are up to? What are they thinking about?
My character probably. Well, you're also an archer / bard, so you also come from here as well. So I think we're kind of contemplating the status of the forest, because that's kind of the plot line of the jobs here, is that we're protectors of the forest and there have been disturbances there, and you're sent out to investigate and basically make sure things are right with the environment, because when they're not, evil spirits and bad guys arise and it's your job to beat them up. But
whoa, look at all those balloons back there.
Which ones?
One of them's like a blue baby.
Oh, those are the minions. Those are... So, actually, this is for an event. I can explain this really quick.
Oh.
So, those balloons are for minions you can get through various means. Either buying... You can buy those too, I think, if you want, but you can also get them in the game. But there's an event going on at this zone called the Gold Saucer, which is based on the Final Fantasy VII zone, where you play mini games and you can gamble, essentially, with fake currency. Not the same currency used to buy items in the game, but just a currency that only works there. And the event's called Make It Rain. So there's a bunch of multipliers going on right now at the event, so you can earn more of the money from the Gold Saucer. But there's what's it called, like not seventh guest.
Love the seventh guest.
No, the one where you get the one where you get to guess the murderer or whatever is Colonel Mustard in the
Clue.
Clue, thank you. Jeez, I don't know why I'm so bad sometimes. My memory just decides to shut down. There's a story arc you can do there where you try and figure out who committed the murder at the Gold Saucer. and you have to go find the clues and investigate around the area. And the more clues you find, the more options you get during the interrogation.
Oh my god. Damiani, I feel like we have to go do this.
Oh, we can totally go do it. If you have access, I can show you how to do it.
I've been to the Golden Saucer, so...
Alright,
do you want to warp us there with your magic?
Yeah, you can only get, there's a true ending. So no matter what you do, it kind of says you did it right. But there's a bonus scene at the end that says, actually, you were wrong. You did not, justice does not win today. So there is a true culprit you have to uncover. And it's pretty cool if you do everything and actually find out who the real murderer is.
Oh my gosh. And you've done this?
Yes, and you can redo it as many times as you like, because they know you might mess up and not pick the actual murderer.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got a video.
Yeah, you got a cutscene.
You hope you're enjoying your time at the Gold Saucer, madam.
So let me know when you advance the text.
I advanced it. You see, we are devising a number of new attractions with promise to entice even more patrons to our establishment. We would offer you the chance to partake in these delights before anyone else in Eorzea. Advance. We only ask in return that you provide an earnest judgment of our offerings so that we might use that to refine our final product. Fair trade, I believe. So do we have an agreement, madam? Advance. Nod. Splendid. Lord Manderville shall know of your contributions. Now, if you would just follow... Advance. Screaming. Advance. A scream! It came from above. Quickly, we must help. Advance.
Yeah, these can be a little cheesy, but they are also amusing. Okay, so now we have to go and investigate, so...
We're still RP walking. We have to RP walk every...
We're gonna RP walk into this puddle. Yeah!
Whoa! Nothing but RP walking. This is gonna take forever.
I know. So there we go. Someone is on the floor. Uh-oh.
This is a real murder mystery.
Yeah.
Mistress Flowery, what happened? Advance. No, he can't be. Please, no. Advance. It happened in a flash, it did. They were enjoying their meal. This person's supposed to be British, I feel like. They were enjoying their meal together, happy as ever, when without warning, Master Gonquard... Oh, God. Gonquard keels over as if a chocobo just bucked him in the belly. This is going to take too long. Now, I'm no sugargen. Oh, my God. But I'll reckon he'll be getting back up. Advance. You don't mean... Oh, my God. He's dead.
Drama.
He's dead. Advance. This guy. Olier, what is the meaning of this? You know we do not abide drunkards dozing on the floor. I demand an explanation. Advance. Master Roland, why, yes, of course. We have only just arrived, but it appears this person collapsed suddenly during his meal. Given his current state, I can't imagine overindulgence was the cause. No, such a sudden passing points to something more sinister, Master Roland. I advanced in there, by the way. I believe this was no natural death. I believe Gonquard was poisoned. Advance. Poisoned? By the 12, a murder in our midst. We must act swiftly. I want the perpetrator in shackles. Advance. He looks at us.
That face.
Yeah, it would seem you already have capable aid. The profession of adventurer demands some aptitude at deduction, certainly. What was your name, friend? Well then, Mistress Meliamne. That's me. What say you? Will you aid us in bringing a criminal to justice? Advance. And then I nod, which is all I ever do. Excellent. Olier, or whatever. You may have leave to put current duties on hold. I grant both of you the title of interim inspector, and you shall have my full support in your inquiry. Advance. Nod. We shall not disappoint. Now, Mistress Meliamne, let us step back and take stock of the situation. Assuming Gonquard was poisoned, I gather there are only 3 people who had the opportunity, if not motive, to do so discreetly. Znaffa, who served Gonquard his food, Lyell, who prepared his libations, and lastly, while I shudder to entertain such a possibility, we must also consider Gonquard's wife suspect, as I can only assume she was close to him throughout the meal. Oh no. Considering the gravity of the crime, we must avoid making any hasty accusations before we have a clear understanding of what transpired here. To that end, our first action should be to question each of the suspects. I entrust that task to you. Find out I summons the brass blades, blah, blah, blah. Will be unmasked and apprehended. Advance. How long does this mission take, by the way?
So now it is time to actually go get the clues, and for the sake of time, I'm just getting the guide so we can look up all the locations real quick. So...
Oh yeah, spoiler alert, we're solving a murder mystery, Damiani and I. You can't think I'm a murderer, you just can't. I just carry the food and drink is all, I don't even touch it. You suspect me of poisoning Master Gonquad? Preposterous! I would never commit such an atrocious act, let alone against one of my most loyal customers. I won't stand for such baseless accusations. My husband's body is still warm, and you accuse me of his murder? I have no words.
Alright, so let's talk back to our host here again.
Oh, video.
Yep.
This is quite the adventure. I must admit, that wasn't helpful as I'd hoped. I fear pressing our suspects further would only earn us their ire. We need not lose heart, however, as there are other avenues available to us. No crime is perfect, and even the most meticulous criminal leaves behind some trace of evidence. I am confident that if we search every corner of the gold saucer and question every person within,
No.
the answer to this mystery will come together in due time. Of course, our suspects cannot be left alone. I shall remain here and ask that you make a thorough search of the gold saucer. If you uncover aught you wish to discuss, return here and I will lend what aid I can.
So right here on the table is the serving tray.
Ooh.
So go ahead and inspect it by interacting with it.
The plate Snafa served Gonquad. The pungent odor of bitter spirits is almost overpowering. This is really fun.
There's this little Lalafell right here.
Kokomui?
Kokomui. So we're going to talk to them.
I saw Gonquad around the cactopot board, often enough to call him a comrade in arms against chance. Luck seemed to always favor him, though, filling his coin purse while leaving mine lighter by the day. Well, I suppose everyone's fortune reverses in time, eh? Ooh.
Yeah, kind of dark.
Yeah.
Gonquad loved his drink, especially when his wife went with him. Had a bit of trouble keeping his hands off the servers while in his cups, though, and having Snafa around just made it worse. Girl didn't seem to mind, though, I suppose. The extra coin he paid didn't hurt. I imagine his wife would have given him an earful if she ever found out.
Aha.
Loving these voices.
I love all this RP walking that we're doing. Tucked away next to the pillars, a small phial, drained of its contents. However, a sweet scent lingers within. Oh man, this is like a legit murder.
It is. Alright, so we're gonna go back this down here.
Why does it say the heart of the party under your name? Are you the heart of the party?
Oh, that's a title. This person over here, Haruna Nomizu, their title right there means at one time they beat the hardest fight in the game.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what the Milazine Mauler is. Here we go. Hitchcock is by the Moogle's Paw.
Okay.
What's up, Hitchcock? This is the
That's
perfect
an appropriate name. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Totally perfect. Alright, let's see what Hitchcock has to say.
I saw the whole sorry affair from a nearby table. Nearly choked on my own food at the sight, I did. But I acted quickly. I knew at once that foul play was afoot, so I stole away with the glass from which Conquad, or whatever, took his last fateful sip. Now! I was only acting in our best interests, your best interests. What if this was lost? Or worse? I'm familiar enough with mysteries to know an inspector must always think one step ahead of her quarry. Here, take the glass. I have an inkling you might need it.
I don't know.
This is intense. This
All right,
guy's sketchy, I don't know.
I know.
This damn RP walking.
Oh, these two people on the left right here. Or these three people. This is pretty funny.
What are they doing?
They should have speech bubbles that come up if you walk close enough. I don't know if they missed. They might have.
Oh, there we go. No, you have it all wrong.
Where's this person?
No time for that. We've got a mystery to solve. Oh, there's a bunch more balloons here too.
Yeah,
man, I want one of those rams.
This place is so nice.
Look at these guys with their big crates. Cool.
I know. Look at all this RP going on in this game. It's pretty good.
You know what? So you know who has the most RP? Us with our RP walking.
I know. It's like so in sync.
She's cool. If you ask me, Lyle's the last person I suspect of murder. Someone so serious wouldn't be so rash. Can't say the same for Znaffa, though. Not that I think she has it in her to kill someone, of course. She just hasn't been at the saucer long enough for me to get to know her. Ah.
Well, she's new. Dun dun dun.
Man, trying to do this mystery without a walkthrough would take forever.
Yes, I think that's what it's intended to do.
God, this place is so cool looking. A piece of crumpled parchment lies conspicuously on the floor. Upon closer inspection, you see a message written in a precise hand. To the king. You know what must needs be done. Succeed and you shall be rewarded handsomely. From the Rook. Ooh, little intrigue, a little chess intrigue.
Oh man, that part I was like, whoa, what is going on right now?
Master Concord came here most days, sometimes alone, sometimes with Mistress Flowery. They seemed like such a happy pair. 'Tis heartbreaking that we'll not see them walking cheerfully through the saucer any longer. Not a lot of intel, but some intel.
I like the facial expression. It kind of just is staring blankly at me right now. It's like not really any emotion.
This game's got real good vibes. It's a good
really
vibes
does.
game.
Everyone who's played it, that I played it with, has agreed about that sentiment. This guy, it's just the look.
He was poisoned? By the gods! Gunquad and his wife were in such high spirits when I passed by the Mandeville Lounge earlier. To see them laughing cheerily at the antics of that Senor Sabotender.
Senor Sabotender.
Thank you.
I forgot the tilde.
Yeah.
I would have never imagined such a tragic turn of events.
So they're laughing at that senor.
And now we are gonna go find Senor Desenflado.
Desenflado?
Yeah.
I like all the names in this are like weirdly like they're like French, Spanish, like.
Yes, the writers do a lot of work in that regard to make sure that their terms are not very common or what you wouldn't come across normally in the common vernacular, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Splash, splash, splash.
I'm just trying to get dramatic camera angles.
Alright, there it is. Senor Desenflado.
What is he? Falling down on the job? Is he dead too?
Yeah, it looks like he might be. Something might be up here.
Oh no, senor!
No, not a cactuar.
This has gone too far. Thankfully, the crumpled figure before you is not another victim, but merely a discarded Senor Sabotender costume. A sickly, sweet fragrance hangs in the air, and the scene makes you uneasy, as if you have caught a glimpse of something no one was meant to see.
Dun dun dun!
We have all the pieces of the puzzle. Oh no, now we have to put them together.
Yep, so let's head on back. A Wonder Square East is the option you want.
Okay, hopefully I've marked it. I have not marked it.
Alright, then follow. Let's walk. So we're basically just going all the way to the south, where the Wonder Square is, by the dining table on the second floor is where we want to go.
Okay. Luckily, through the power of editing, I can get us there much quicker.
Yes, so we are already there. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Future us is having a great time. Already there. You have returned at last. Your inquiry has uncovered ample clues, and now it is up to us to make sense of them. Unless you already have, of course. Elsewise, I would be happy to mull over the evidence with you. Okay. The killer is among us, and I know who it is.
I'd like to discuss the evidence I've gathered so far. Pick that option.
Okay, picked. A prudent choice. Considering the magnitude of the crime, we must pore over every piece of evidence before making accusations. So, what shall we discuss? A crumpled scrap of parchment upon which the following words were writ. Blah blah blah, we already know that. Ominous titles for an ominous letter. Who could these two characters be? You say you could detect a sweet aroma from within it. Yes, what could have possibly contained? The plate Zaphna served the couple was rank with the bitter smell of strong spirits. Perhaps Gonquard was particular to such libations. Still, even our strongest drink would not cause so sudden a death as his. I like how it wouldn't cause so sudden a death. It might cause a death.
It might.
Yeah.
It just might.
Ah, Northern Storm, the Rogadin? Rogaden, Eyeing these proceedings so intently, his gaze makes me slightly uneasy, but he did shed some light on Gonquard's time alone at the Gold Saucer. It would seem our victim had a habit of imbibing, particularly when his wife was absent, which led to wandering hands and a loose tongue, especially when Znaffa was around. I cannot help but wonder what Mistress Florrie thought of all this, or if she even knew.
We played it fast and loose.
Yeah. Kokumi's statement that Lalafell seems to have taken a keen interest in how this affair will play out. Nonetheless, he provided us with valuable insight into our victim's favored pastime. Kokumi and Gonquard shared the love of the cactopot board, though fortune often favored the latter, leaving him with an excess of MGP. In a place like the Gold Saucer, it is plain how such luck could incite envy, or worse. Jorcel happened to pass by Manderville Lounge just before Gonquard was killed. He was among the last few to see the victim alive and well. He spied one of our very own Senor Sabatenders entertaining the couple with its whimsical poses. Not an unusual sight in the Gold Saucer, to be sure, but I'm certain not many expect it to be followed by tragedy. Abelina has long been greeting the saucer's patrons, and as such is privy to their comings and goings. Gonquard was no exception. He would often be accompanied by Florrie, as one would expect, but more surprising, however, is the revelation that he would sometimes come on his own. One cannot help but wonder what activities poor Gonquard indulged in when his wife was not present. Hitchcock's story itself did not give us much value, but speaking to him proved worthwhile nonetheless. He was dining next to the ill-fated couple when tragedy struck, and whether it was by foresight, as he claims, or by some morbid impulse, he snatched up the glass from which Gonquard took his last sip. Of course, it would have been preferable to find the evidence undisturbed, but I suppose we should be grateful to come into possession of it at all. I detect a sweet aroma. It seems so familiar, but for the life of me I cannot recall why.
Almost done.
Veleda spends her days behind the cactopot board counter, is well acquainted with the most of Gold Saucer's staff. She seems certain of Lyle's innocence, but admitted to knowing too little about Znaffa to speak of her character. I appreciate her honesty. It would be a shame if an uninformed judgment led to us accusing the wrong person. Ah, the secret of the Saucer's sabotenders comes out at last. Who could be so careless as to leave the costume out in the open? Nonetheless, it may prove to be a vital piece of this puzzle. A sweet odor, you say, hung in the air is most unusual. If we could but ascertain its origin.
Same thing, and let's now do the killers among us, and I know who it is.
Such confidence! Nevertheless, this is a grievous crime with a grievous punishment, so the burden is on us, the inspectors, to explain our reasoning before making accusations. And so, Mistress Meliamne, that's me, I would ask that you walk us through how you came to your conclusion.
Dun dun dun. They all look so sad.
Yeah, I bet there's like special music for this too that we can't hear. Oh, that girl looks like me. Very well, then we should start by answering the most elementary question. How was Gonquard poisoned?
So, drink.
Yeah, mixed in his drink.
Eureka.
Blah, 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 blah,
Give me a
blah.
character, fake talks.
Yeah. So it was his drink that killed him. Of course, an astute to judgment. But why not the food? How can we be certain?
The smell, the third option.
Yeah, true. Because that's how I'd poison someone. The odor, of course, so sweet as to be unnatural, and not befitting Gonquard's taste besides. There is no doubt. I am all but certain the drink was poisoned. Now we must ascertain when. They all thumbs up me.
They're like, yay!
There are numerous opportunities for a suspect to administer the fatal concoction, Mistress Meliamne. Pray, tell us when you think this occurred.
So it was, the drink was poisoned when it was already on the table.
Yeah.
So while the food and drink were already on the table.
Okay. Such brazenness! The killer could have peered straight into Gonquard's eyes. It was no simple task. Several people were there and claimed to have seen nothing. But how could our perpetrator possibly have accomplished such a feat?
Poison was contained in a small sealed vial.
Talk, talk, talk. Yes, the vial. Small enough to hide in oneself, and a murderer would only need a moment to apply the poison. Our criminal was meticulous indeed, but not meticulous enough, it would seem. Thumbs up. Yeah. That guy's really enthusiastic. Well, I believe this mystery is all but solved, Mistress Meliamne. I would give you the honor of revealing the identity of our culprit. Culprit, I wait with bated breath. She goes, no, 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 no.
Oh, no,
No.
It cannot be. And the answer, it was Senior Sabatender.
Senior Sabatender, I must say, this is quite an unexpected development. Pray forgive my doubt, but may I ask why?
Because inside the Sabatender was the true killer, Kokumi.
Yeah, I thought it was that little suspicious guy. Kokumi? In the Senior Sabatender? Because he's the only one small enough.
Uh-oh.
So that's the way your mind works, is it? Let's accuse the nearest Lalafell of murder on account of he's the size of a Sabatender? You'll need to do better than that. Why in hells would I kill Gunquad? I barely knew the man.
Gambling habit got the best of you, and you ran out of coin to support it.
That's the one I was going to do.
Yes. We're
The
almost
face
done.
I make is so silly. Well, you've got me there. He just comes clean. It's true, my coin purse doesn't jingle much these days, but tell me, Inspector, how would murder improve my situation, eh? A man can't very well earn coin when he's in shackles. I must admit, Kokumi has a fair point. Poverty is hardly a sufficient motive. Ah, but something tells me you have already considered this. Pray, enlighten us, that we may finally reach the truth of this matter.
Promised a reward from Roland.
Which one's Roland? I don't even remember who that is. The big guy?
Guy in the cool outfit, the Setzer gambling outfit.
Oh.
Stare down.
Yeah.
The clapping.
As expected, the truth is laid bare by Mistress Meliamne's keen intellect. Excellent work, my friend, excellent work.
Who the heck is talking?
Roland.
Oh, no! Your deductions were impeccable. Indeed, it was Senior Sabotender who stealthily slipped an alchemical concoction into Gonquad's drink. And indeed, it was Kakumi inside the costume, all for a reward from yours truly. I suppose you found the parchment then? From the rook to the king? Or in other words, from R to K? Most clever, was it not? You have answered all of the questions most skillfully. All except for a very simple one. Why? Mayhap you recall Olier's offer to preview our forthcoming attractions. Yes, now you understand. I hope you enjoyed unraveling this mystery as much as we enjoyed weaving it. And look here, it appears our friend Gunquad has risen from the dead. Oh, he's already dead! Yay! Oh, by the gods, I've not had such a peaceful slumber in ages. Roland, you simply must teach me the recipe for that potion. Now, my dear friend Gunquad, this solution is much too strong for that. The phial contained only enough to ensure you would not awaken earlier than intended, and then perhaps a bit more. Forgive me, but it would have been an embarrassment had your eyes opened during the dramatic climax. A climax carried by Kokumi's masterful performance, such passion. As promised, you can expect a generous recompense for your artful rendition. That's fun. That's a fun conclusion, that it's not really a murder. And so, Mistress Meliamne, I do hope you are entertained by the Gold Saucer's new attraction, Murder at the Manderville Lounge. I admit, there were some performances that could stand to be more believable, but I know with time we shall improve. As a whole, however, I believe accolades are in order. A round of applause to all involved, to Mistress Meliamne's ingenuity.
Yep, you get a group celebration.
Yay. Oh, I like that animation when I'm all like happy. Well, that was delightful.
There you go. And that's that.
Now I speak with Olier again.
Yeah, you don't have to like read this out. It basically just kind of concludes it for you. And then he kind of like walks off.
Disappears.
And then, yeah, then you can turn the quest in down here. Suicide walk.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah. And this is actually a seasonal event, so you can only do it for a limited time. For this one, you can repeat it as many times as you like within the window.
Oh.
But once it's over, you can't do this again. So it goes away.
Wow, okay. Well, I'm glad I did it.
So there's a little conclusion here. It's
Yeah.
kind of like thanking you.
I sincerely hope you did not take our deception personally, Mistress Meliamne.
No, I loved it.
He didn't nod this time.
Yeah. Ah, it was all in good fun. I only hope the puzzle proved challenging enough to keep you entertained throughout. Ho ho ho, I fear we may have to concoct even more devious riddles.
Uh-oh, who could this
Who's
be?
this? Godbert?
It's Godbert.
Who's Godbert?
It's part of the Manderville quest.
Oh, he runs the place or something?
Yeah.
Were you confounded by the mystery's subtlety and nuance, or was it solving merely child's play to you? Then I tapped my throat for some reason. Very good, very good. Once inspiration struck, we labored day and night to create a web of deception and intrigue so thick, not even my dear son would be able to untangle it. It would seem, however, that there is more work to be done, more flaws to be hammered out. Of course, Lord Manderville, Mistress Meliamne, we are at your disposal should you wish for us to reprise our roles. Who knows, you may even see a performance you missed this time around. Olier, I trust you will accommodate Mistress Meliamne's request. We will hone our craft till it becomes second nature. In the meantime, my attendants shall prepare to reward you for your aid today, and with that I shall take my leave. Farewell.
And thus ends your quest.
Nice. That was fun. Thanks for solving a mystery with me, Damiani.
Not a problem, Shaggy.
Zoink, Scoob!
Drinkies.
I'm happy you're back. And I'm happy that we
Very
got to
happy.
play together.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah. This is getting me back into this game now.
Yeah, this might be a preview of things to come.
Oh.
Ooh.
Alright. Thanks, Damiani. Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Hey, Ben. Are you jealous?